I'm psyched today. We have a few special guests with us.
We do. Do you want to introduce them?
I don't think they need any introduction. They've been on so many episodes before in the past, but everybody pretty excited to announce today we have Mia and Ellie Gordon. I'm doing it in birth order. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
How are we doing today?
Good to be back, All Stars. Yep, good to be back.
Okay, so this is the first visit in the studio.
I know, it's awesome. It's so nice. It's very professional. It's very different than our couch back home when Roxy would lay by our feet and walk around in the middle of the episode.
I know.
We got no walking around in the middle of an episode here.
We don't.
It's all professional.
I guess we should announce to the listeners.
No.
Roxy, pour some out for our doggy. Roxy is no longer with us. No. We had to lay her to rest a few weeks ago. And frankly, yeah, especially because you had to do it by yourself. I was in Texas. Mm-hmm. The girls were still taking finals.
It was awful.
I know.
It was awful. I am a dog lover. I had a dog for 15 years, but I treated the dog like a dog. Like she couldn't get on our bed. And I gave her the normal human animal affection, but all three of you treated her like an actual human.
We did.
So I don't even know how you're moving on because I could not. I had the hardest time. I closed all the drapes in the house. It was like a week of mourning, and I treated her like an animal. I don't even know how you guys got out of bed.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever really emotionally recover from that. And every time we walk into the house, a part of me wants to be like, "Hi, honey," but there's no honey to hi. No. It's sad. The days that followed her passing, I repeatedly showed all my friends multiple photos and videos of her, like, look at her. Wasn't she so cute? They're like, Ellie, please stop. Please don't make me do this.
It was sad. I was doing plumbing at Parker's house in Texas, laying under a sink, and the tears were dripping into my ears as I was wrenching pipes and stuff. So it sucked. I mean,
losing an animal is awful.
Yeah. We had her for 13 and a half of her 15 years. She was the greatest rescue ever in the history of dogs. And I think we're just going to leave it at there because we actually have a rather upbeat, positive episode today. I'm going to leave my sadness behind for a moment. Let's roll. We have a round robin of topics for you guys. The college girls are here. We're pumped. Let's do this.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey listeners, ever wonder what it would be like to blow up your comfort zone at the tender age of 50? Well, we did just that. When our last kid went off to college, we hit the road in search of a new hometown. Now we bounce from city to city and bring you along for the ride. This is the Skiptown All-Stars podcast.
What's up, All-Stars? Welcome back to another episode of Skiptown. We are delighted to be back in the Podcast Doctor Studios here in Orlando, Florida. How you doing, Trixie?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about today's episode because it is just a grab bag of topics. It's going to be so much fun.
And we have the college brats with us. We'll get to them in a moment. But first, let us introduce our favorite producer, Producer Phil. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Looks like AI did not take my job, so I am back behind the wall here. Happy to be here, guys. Today's going to be a really fun episode because I love to talk about just random stuff.
Awesome. Well, we're happy you're with us and you are not any longer AI, and we definitely need that human component to our show. So, but before we get going, a little bit of housekeeping. Please, if you haven't already, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel if you're watching us there. If you are finding us on Spotify, you can leave us a rating, right?
Yep, it's a rating.
I always get them mixed up.
I know, it's not a review, it's a rating.
Yep, and if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please leave us a review. Those things help us out tremendously. Wherever you're finding us, whatever platform you are listening or watching, just please hit a few buttons for us. Wouldn't you kindly do so? All right, and you had something else.
Oh, just that, if you're listening to the episode, every Tuesday morning, we have a quiz on there. So check out our Instagram, go to Skiptown All-Stars Travel Podcast, and take the quiz, see how much you retained from this week's episode.
Nice. I love it. So today we're doing topics with our two youngest daughters. Mia, say hello.
Hey, All-Stars.
Mia, if you remember, is a third-year student at the University of Utah, hopefully heading to law school here in the coming months, yes?
Yes.
Okay,
months.
Good. Still on
months.
track?
It's years.
1 year.
Singular.
Yeah, but it's not months.
12 months.
Okay.
Well, I'm most likely going to be applying in the fall if I take the LSAT and it goes well. But yeah.
What if it doesn't go well? Then you're going to take the LSAT again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if it doesn't go well that time, then I'm going to take a year off.
Oh, okay. Got it. And Ellie is here from Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut. What's up, kid?
Hi, thanks for having me again. Sorry, that was really bad. Roll bands. I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah.
Roll bands.
You're a little rusty. It's okay. For those of you who don't know, the Bantams, the mighty Bantams are the mascot for the Trinity College
And what is a
sports teams
bantam?
there.
Okay, just tell everyone.
It's a rooster.
Yeah.
No, it's an angry chicken. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's why we say fear the chicken.
That's a horrible
It
mascot.
sounds like a drive-through.
This is a Family Guy sketch.
This is a Family Guy sketch. That is so true.
If you go through all the mascots in the NESCAC, which is like our conference, it's like the polar bears, the Eefs, which is like a cow, a type of cow.
Yeah, you have some strange ones. Up
Really
there.
strange ones. The mules, the
mules.
camels. Like, if there's no lions.
It's like there were no mascots left over. And you guys just got the scraps collectively
Yeah,
as a
like we'll
conference.
go with angry chicken.
Isn't there like a cobra? No one's a cobra?
No. We have the cardinals.
It's like they're scrolling
quite
through
the
clip art. I was like, oh, this is taken. This is taken. This is
Yeah,
taken.
literally.
Totally. And the best part is, speaking of taken, they actually took the motto from, you know how everybody says roll tide at the University of Alabama? They say roll bants in Trinity. I'm like, we could, like, all you smart little rich kids couldn't come up with anything a little better.
No, I think the next best thing from Roll Bants is Fear the Chicken, which is arguably worse.
I love Fear the Chicken. It's my favorite one. So anyway, okay, so we're going to do a round robin of topics today. We were going to do a catch up with you guys, but everybody gets it. You're in college.
Yeah.
You're studying.
It's all the same.
Sometimes you're partying more
Most of the
times.
time.
And you're living your best life. So what do we got today? What are we going to talk about?
Well, I think we're going to start with youngest.
Okay.
So we've decided to just, throw out there some topics that, either they're current or they're topics that we have been weighing on us, or they're just topics that we're like, they're fun. Like, let's chat about this. So Ellie brought a couple to the table.
Okay.
Why don't you start with your favorite?
My favorite is, would you rather have no hair or no teeth, and dentures and wigs are not allowed?
Oh my God. Wow. We're just kicking off like that.
Starting
All right.
off strong.
So
Yes.
no hair or no teeth, and wigs or dentures not allowed.
Not allowed.
So you're not allowed to fix your state.
You can't, like, you either have no teeth or no hair.
Okay. You got to have teeth.
I go teeth.
I mean, it's
I
different
go
for a
teeth.
guy.
No, I go teeth, because teeth make you look 50 years older when you don't have them.
So you would rather have no hair?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, I would
do
also rather have no hair.
Me
Same.
too.
I know that we can't do fixes, but like, I can wear a beanie all the time.
I mean, have you seen like 40-year-old people who have no teeth? They look like they're 75.
That's true.
Yeah. What about you, Phil? No
Yeah,
teeth
Phil.
or no hair?
I'm a black guy. Black guys look amazing with no hair. So
It's
it
true.
doesn't really.
It's true.
Half the NBA has no hair. So what does it really matter?
I know.
I would rather just be a bald black guy. I'm almost there anyway when I get a haircut.
No,
So-
you have a lot of hair.
Yeah,
you
but
do.
when I shave it, I look like I just got out of prison, or I just got into prison, depending on whatever.
Right.
But yeah, I would 100% choose to have teeth, because you were right, Denise. That's you could be 20 years old and not have teeth and look like you're 80. So,
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
It says a lot about you when you don't.
that is true. So
It just says some things went sideways in your life if you don't have a grill.
Your teeth went sideways, probably.
your teeth went sideways.
Okay, that's your first one. Do you want to do your
No,
second
no,
one, or are we gonna go?
we're going around. We're
Okay.
skipping. All
We
right.
got rules.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right, babe, you're next.
I'm next.
Yes.
Okay, so my topic that has really been nagging at me lately, and I've seen it on social media, and I can't dissect it because every TikTok video I click on gives me some other different preamble than the one. I just want to know the reason. Why do Drake and Kendrick Lamar have so much beef? Can
Do you
you
want me
kids
to start,
explain
or
it to
do
me?
you want to start? I can start. Okay, so this is like the the prequel to this whole story. The intro to it.
I do find it funny that the two white girls are starting when we have Phil, who probably really knows
I know
the
he
real
knows the whole
beef.
thing. But I would just say, as two Gen Xers, we're accustomed to rap beef. Like, we have been through the Tupac Biggie thing, which ended catastrophically for both of them. Nas, Jay-Z, you name it. All kinds of
Kanye, Jay-Z.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
all sorts of rappers over the years. So we're not immune. Like, we're not like in the dark when it comes to this thing.
We know who Kendrick is.
I didn't
Like,
even
we're not
know
in
they
the
didn't
dark.
like each other. So
That we
am
didn't
I
know.
that out of touch?
No, I think that there was not like always beef. So okay, so there's Kendrick, Drake, and then J. Cole, and they're like the three best rappers right now. Everyone's always like, "What team are you on?" You know, and I think it was Drake who made a song calling him, Kendrick, and J. Cole like the big three of rap.
J. Cole did.
J. Cole did.
Yeah.
J. Cole made a song.
J. Cole made a song
saying that Kendrick, Drake, and him were the big three of rap. Pretty much saying like, guys, why do we have to fight? Like, we're all the best, you know?
Yeah.
Kendrick then makes a song about that and is like, F the big three, it's just big me.
I love it. Okay. All
And
right.
then from there, Drake responded.
Yeah. So then from there, it was basically like diss track to diss track going toe for toe. And Phil, you can chime in at any point and correct us.
I mean, you're saying the right thing so far.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So Drake made a song and he was basically like, the only competition for me in the music industry is Taylor Swift.
So
Whatever.
like, Kendrick, you're nothing.
So Kendrick, like, you're irrelevant, essentially. Then Kendrick made a diss track. And then there were a lot of diss tracks going back and forth, saying different things. But the most notable one was recently Drake did another diss track about Kendrick, basically saying, you beat your wife. And then Kendrick
Wow. Okay.
dropped one saying, you're a pedophile. And
Oh,
you have a daughter that no one knows about.
And in this song, talking about him being a pedophile, he doesn't say like who he was a pedophile, like, you know, like who his like victims were. But in Drake's response, so Drake and Millie Bobby Brown, 11 from Stranger Things, were like good friends when Millie was like in her teens, like 15, 16. Like for some reason they were always like at press events together. So in Drake's response to being called a pedophile, he's like, I never touched Millie Bobby Brown. And everyone's like, no one said that.
Nobody said anything about
outed
Millie.
himself.
Why are you dragging Millie into this?
No, he just outed himself.
He just outed himself about like, I don't even know what, but yeah, Kendrick's like, you're a pedophile. He's like, no, I'm not. I never touched Millie Bobby Brown.
And everyone's like, what does Millie Bobby Brown have to do with
Millie
this?
is over in England. Like, what the heck?
So wait, so if J. Cole never wrote this song, this never would have happened, right? Like this beef never would have happened. Or was there like underlying beef between Kendrick and Drake always?
I think that there was always a little bit of animosity between the two of them.
Little friction, little
Yeah,
competition,
'cause, like,
little
they-
unfriendly competition.
Yeah, and like they've done their own little diss tracks. I saw this girl make a whole video deep diving the whole thing. It dated back to like
There's history.
2015.
Do what?
I said there's history.
Oh.
But the thing that I don't understand is this whole time, I always thought the argument was like between J. Cole and Kendrick. Like, I know all my friends really like Drake, but I'm like, Drake was like never in the picture for me. Like, I was like, it's between J. Cole or Kendrick.
Isn't it Drake more like soccer mom music? Like,
I guess.
isn't it like suburban white women who are keeping Drake's career going at this point?
I don't,
Am I
think,
wrong?
I don't think his most
College
recent
Rap Bros.
album, but like his other one with like Nice for What and stuff, like that's music you play at like school dances and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, that was like music that I
Oh,
would
my
have
friends are
like
gonna get
hit.
so mad at me. They love Drake.
So the
That was like music
so the nuns
that,
are okay with Drake being played at the dances.
yeah, because not all of his songs like have. Actually, that's not.
I know
true.
for a
such
fact
a
Kendrick
lie.
Lamar's songs are probably not welcome at Catholic school dances.
No, they're not.
Yes.
But I just think that Kendrick has always been better than Drake, and so when Drake's like,
but Kendrick's more creative.
yeah,
He's a way better rapper.
yeah, and Drake's coming
my
in
humble
like,
opinion.
and you're humble.
Drake, I feel like is more
Middle-aged
mainstream.
white guy.
I would
Oh
say
my
Kendrick
God.
Lamar speaks to me way more than
Okay,
Drake.
hold on. Phil, you need to chime in.
I
here.
can't.
Stop.
No,
Stop.
No,
You
let-
just-
We're
Let
going
y'all
down
do-
the drain here.
this is too
Y'all
good.
go ahead. Y'all go ahead. This is great.
Are we spot on though? Like,
Yeah.
Are we right?
From what I know, yes. Honestly, because I honestly think rap beef is the stupidest thing on this planet. You know, but yeah, I think you're pretty right there because the competition was like between J. Cole and Kendrick, and then Drake said, "Hey, I'm here too, people. People love me. People love me." You know, and then he decided to do his thing. But I don't really follow it as much anymore because it just seems really stupid. Like, oh, we're grown men and we're gonna write poems to each other.
I was just going to say, didn't one of you kids send me the meme?
That was Phil. Phil posted it.
Phil sent the meme.
Yes, Phil posted it. I think
it was
on
like
social media or
rap
something.
diss tracks are basically just grown men writing poetry. To one
Or
another.
maybe it was somebody. I thought it was Phil, but it might have been somebody else. Maybe it was Nora that posted that. Somebody posted. And I was like,
I
oh,
posted
that.
Yeah.
Who was it? Nora?
No, it was me.
It was you. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
somebody posted it.
That was well played.
Oh, that was. So, okay, Phil, but who is like, if you had to pick your favorite, would it be Kendrick, Drake, or J. Cole?
Well, now when you judge based off of, it's either like how good the song is, their lyrical content, and the impact of the punchlines, right? When you do the when you grade the diss tracks,
Right.
I am not really a big fan of Kendrick though. It's just his voice, and y'all are West Coast, so I'm not really a West Coast type
Right.
of person. So
It has a sound for sure.
Yeah, and especially when he does his weird inflections, like it's really it's kind of weird. You know, back when Eminem used to do that, he used to like rap into someone a different voice when he's like, Kendrick does that, and I don't really like it. So I think Drake's punchlines in his diss tracks seem more impactful to me, but that's just because I follow Drake more, so
Right.
it made more sense. You know, but y'all are West Coast heads, so maybe that's why Kendrick just seemed better. You know, plus I know Drake from Degrassi, so you know, I'm like that's my boy in a wheelchair. You know, so he's versatile. He's funny. He can act. He can rap. He can sing. You know, I think Drake is an all around package. But I don't
Good
feel
entertainer.
Yeah, I don't feel like he needed to be like, hey, I'm here too when he's already almost at 100 billion streams on Spotify. So you know,
I think Drake really like didn't need to jump in like. You have nothing to prove, or not like nothing.
So it's
to
beneath
prove.
him.
No,
Like, it was beneath
just
him.
like why start it? Like why jump in? And like even J. Cole, like once Drake jumped in, J. Cole was like, I revoke that statement. I'm sorry. He like did like a formal apology or whatever. So then it was just between Drake and Kendrick, and I don't know.
they released like 7 tracks in 2 days. It's like they were just in their studios like, oh, he said this, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the fascination for me.
it was. I was
It was
like,
like
I was
real
like-
time.
I was
yeah,
like, who's
because-
driving them to the studios? Like, oh, I was thinking
Yeah.
to myself, that is expensive studio time to
They
just
have them
drop.
in their
Well, yeah,
houses. What do
you're
you
right.
mean?
They do have it in
studios
their houses.
Yeah, and
You're
Drake
right.
had his most recent song. I don't know which most recent song it is, to be honest. But the one that he released, Kendrick released the one calling him a pedophile 20 minutes after it dropped.
So they had it
He
waiting.
had that on tap, right?
He had it loaded. He just had it. He was just waiting to fire.
And the thing, apparently there was a leak, internal leak on Drake's camp that fed Kendrick fake information about the daughter thing. Did you hear about that?
Oh, I heard about that.
No.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they said
There's
that
like
that
espionage.
was not true. Drake just did it on purpose so Kendrick could go off of fake information.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it really proved that there is a spy in Kendrick's camp.
In Drake's
Camp.
Oh, Drake's camp. Sorry, in Drake's camp. Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, why that? That seems pretty damaging. Like once you get that label upon yourself of being a pedophile or having a daughter or any of those things. I guess not having a daughter. Wait, did he leak the pedophile thing?
No, the
He
daughter
leaked
stuff.
Having a
leaked
daughter,
that.
like you
Oh,
have a
mystery
secret daughter that you don't take care of.
Okay.
She just
Oh, so
doesn't
he
exist.
knows he has a he knows
So
he has a
he's
rat
got a
now.
mole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm Team Kendrick. Sorry, Phil.
I don't hate Kendrick. I mean, Kendrick is great. It's just that I'm not a battle rap person, and they're both pop. Like
Yeah.
they are
That's
both
fair.
like hip hop, what you really call it. Even J Cole. Like
Yeah.
all three of them are hip
God, I
hop.
would never think that Kendrick was hip hop, but I guess you're right.
It depends on like the album. I just think that like
All right,
Drake is
hold on,
like
hold on.
yes.
There's 4 white people in the seat talking about Kendrick. He is hip hop.
All right, you got us. Sorry. You got us.
Well, I guess that wraps up that topic.
Okay.
We're out over our skis on this one.
All right, so I have one that I really want to talk about this. Okay, undershare or overshare on social media? Which one are you? And also, because we have 3 different generations sitting in this studio. We have Phil, who's a millennial, you and I, who's Gen X, and the girls who are Gen Z. in everyone's opinion, I really want to start with Gen Z. How do you see the other generations sharing? Because I know that everyone shares differently, but let's just start with you guys. Do you guys undershare or overshare?
Well, can I, like, are you saying like as a generation or individually?
Well, individually, I'm curious, like, do you guys undershare or overshare individually? And then let's just go into like, what are your thoughts on like what you see on social media and who does the most sharing and why, do you think?
Okay. I can start. I think that, do you want to start?
No, take it away.
Okay.
Do you undershare or overshare?
I overshare on my spam Instagram account with a select number of followers that I choose.
Oh.
But I don't overshare on my main Instagram or like my main TikTok or main Snapchat. Like I'll overshare when it's just my close friends on the account.
And what about you?
We're not in that circle.
We're not in that circle. Absolutely.
So
I don't even know what
Mom has requested and she is blocked.
So what I'm seeing on Instagram is your undershare profile.
Yes.
That's her public profile. Let's just talk public profile.
That's not the real profile.
That is not the real profile.
Okay, go on.
When I was in middle school and high school, I used to overshare quite a bit, but I've really cut back. So I feel like now I'm an undershare. I post like maybe twice in a year on Instagram.
Do you have an overshare profile like Ellie does?
I did in high school. I don't use it though anymore. Like I think the last time I posted on both of those accounts were in 2021.
Okay.
But I just want to preface my overshare. It's not like I write a paragraph of like, this was how I was feeling today. It's mostly just like funny photos that like would never make my actual Instagram.
Wait, why? Tell me what, okay, I need to know the difference. Why do you have a fake account and then a public account?
It's like a public is like, I meet someone, oh, what's your Instagram? Like I want to give them that, but like my private close, it's called
so that's
Finsta.
like your best representative. Like your main public page is like, that's who you want people to think you are.
No, that's how I am on the surface. And then,
I think you both said the same thing just now.
And then my Finsta, fake Insta.
Finsta.
My Finsta, that's like closer friends, and that's just like funny photos of all of them. It's also like I like to have like a smaller circle on that because like if I'm posting funny photos of my friends too, I don't want like random people on it like seeing like funny photos of my friends.
Are you ever concerned that someone is going to screenshot your Finsta and post it on their public?
I would know who it is because it's I keep.
But they could still do it. I'm not asking you. Are you afraid?
You might have a mole like Drake.
I'm not asking you if you're worried that one of your. What I'm asking you is, are you afraid it's going to happen? Not who's going to do it. Are you afraid they can screenshot something and post it on their public and that would out your Finsta?
No, I mean, plus like whatever I'm posting on my Finsta, it's like really like. I could put it on my main and it would be fine. It's just like I don't want to post like, like if it's like a photo I look bad in or, like it's just like it's more to be like, here's my weekend. Here's like the dump of my weekend. That's like all.
You don't
really
need everyone to see it.
I don't need everyone to see that. But if someone did
just
see
like
that,
all
I'd
crazy
be like,
stuff like, she did this and I got a photo of it or whatever. Like that.
Like kind of like that. Like here's a photo of us all together, but it's like I wouldn't post it on my main.
Yeah, it's also for like the people who care to see it. Like if you were to post it on your main, like I feel like
likes.
You would know the people that don't care about it.
You would
and
get
they
no
would just
likes?
scroll
I would
past.
get no likes, no comments, and
Wait.
I can't do that.
Okay, so like I always I don't know, I guess maybe it's Gen X thing. Like I was always under the impression that if people are throwing it out there, people are going to want to know about it. Is that not true?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know, like you just said perfectly. You said, well, there are things that people are just going to scroll by and I'm not going to get any likes, so why put it out there? The oversharing. You said oversharing. Like, I'm not going to overshare. So I see a lot of people overshare. Like,
yeah, and I scroll past it.
Yeah, and there are a lot of Gen Zers who also overshare, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at how amazing my life is in college," and I'll just scroll right past it because I don't care how amazing your life is in college. I want you to see how amazing my life is in college.
Or just like I don't need like a weekly update on what you did this weekend if we're not close like that. Like I want it to be a calculated decision. I'm following your Finsta. I want to see your weekend. Like. If we're just like mutuals, like I don't need to be seeing all that. When someone posts a lot, I will just scroll and not like or comment. I'm over it.
Oh, okay.
And it's a lot of the times like people will like post like obviously like funny things that they find funny, but sometimes if you don't really know the person, it can come off a little odd, I would say.
and I also think that like posting the funny things like on your public profile, like I would do that on like my Instagram story. Like I would rather do that on my Instagram
because it disappears in 24 hours.
As like a post, because then it's like the people who like to keep tabs on me will see it and hopefully swipe up and tell me that I'm funny.
Oh, right. Because the posts stick around, like you have to make a conscious effort to go and delete them, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whereas if it's a story, it just naturally expires. And especially if it's topical, like, I don't know, you were talking about your high school. So homecoming weekend or whatever, there are certain stories and things that happen at parties where you're like, I don't need this to live forever kind of thing. Got it. Okay.
Do you overshare or undershare?
I would say when Facebook first came out, I was definitely an oversharer, which I think a lot of Gen Xers were. But then as it's gone on, I'm definitely an undershare. I mean, I hardly ever post. I like scrolling and I like seeing. So speaking of Facebook specifically,
because that was our first social media platform for our age.
But most of my TV people are still in that group.
Yes.
And you know, a lot of family friends, like long friends and everything. So in many ways, it's just a way for me to like see what's going on in their lives, see their families, like, oh, so-and-so's graduating.
So you started as an oversharer.
So I started as an oversharer, but now I'm kind of just a lurker. Like I like a lot of people's posts and stuff. I do post for like my birthday, or if something like really noteworthy happens to us while we're traveling with the podcast or something, I'll post. But like everybody knows, my main source of entertainment comes from TikTok, which is about to be banned. And and I think I've only posted on TikTok maybe 1 or 2 times in the 15 months or so that I've been on it. So
you have a TikTok?
I literally just...
You have a TikTok?
Of course, you need a TikTok to be on TikTok. You have a TikTok?
I have the business TikTok. I don't have a personal TikTok. Oh, you have a TikTok.
Well, I had to have a personal TikTok because you took the business name.
I need to see what your TikTok is. I need to see it. Okay.
You can totally see it.
We send videos all the time to each
we send videos to each other all the time. So if you like fail videos, if you like sports videos, if you like Kobe videos specifically, I watch a lot of number 8 and number 24, depending on what era of Kobe we're talking about, all those kind of things. And then, for the most, and I watch a lot of Karen videos. We've talked about this on our episodes before. Yeah. So,
okay, Phil, undershare or overshare?
I think I'm in the same boat as James. So I started Facebook when Facebook first came out. You know, you needed a college email.
Yeah.
To even use it. So I would totally overshare. And I think as I got older, I decided I needed to undershare. But there was an incident I did on accident. And I was like, oh, crap, I should not be doing this. So Snapchat, when Snapchat was newer, I was sexting Lucia with Snapchat.
Lucia is Phil's wife.
And I accidentally posted to everybody.
What?
And
how are you still standing?
Phil!
So I did that, and I stopped. I got rid of my Snapchat and realized, I don't need to be sharing a lot of things. But I think I'm in the same boat as James, though. Like if it's something like noteworthy or really, really funny, I'll post it. Or if it has something to do with the podcast or a business thing, I'll post it. But for the most part, my life is pretty private. Like people didn't even know that I had an autistic son for the longest until I was like, I need, let me just educate people. But yeah, I'm a undershare. But yeah, from lesson learned.
I do have a question.
I think that's true because, I would just say obviously I follow Phil on social media everywhere. And, when I see a post from Phil, it's usually podcast doctor related, or it's one of the shows that you've done or a clip of some other, one of your clients or what have you. So,
All right, Phil, I have a question. Who was the first person to respond on that picture that was meant only for Lucia? I need to know who the first person that responded was.
Your auntie Lydia.
It was dudes.
They're like, hey man, just to let you know.
They're like, gay. Like, yeah, so that was quite embarrassing.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
What about you?
I'd laugh when you said, like both of you, when he even said, I overshared. I remember the very first trip that we took overseas. We went to Spain. And I posted 45 pictures. And I remember thinking everybody's going to look at each and every picture on Facebook. Yeah. And I was upset if they did not.
And they didn't.
Some did. Actually, it was an age where like
Some people did.
people commented on every photo. And so, I'm a pretty private person though. So I never shared anything private on my Facebook, even when people were like, oh, my husband and I are having a fight today or whatever. Like,
You've never been a big Facebook person.
I wasn't.
Generally speaking.
I'm actually not a
you
very
love
big,
Instagram as a user. I'm not saying you post a lot on there, but
I can't say I even
unless
love
it was
Instagram.
business related, you weren't posting.
I don't really like social media. If I could go without it, I would. I mean, I use it for my business and I used it for my business in LA, but it was just because it was a necessary evil. Like I had to use it. I don't know. I don't care for it. I'm not on it. Like if I'm on my phone, I'm on the news. I do look at the news a lot. I will occasionally, like once a week, go on Instagram and then I'll send the family funny videos. So, I'll, or if like I'm on looking at a news article and they'll have a link in there like, oh, so-and-so wore this dress or whatever. And then it takes me to an Instagram page and then I see something on that page and I find it funny. I'll send it to the family. I don't go to Instagram like for my news or anything like that. Generally, I just go to the news. And so, but because of the podcast, and we're posting and stuff like that and interacting.
It's a necessary thing.
It is. But I've always been a private person, so I definitely undershare.
So what was your last Facebook post? Do you remember?
I know what mine was. Mine was, I had just had a birthday and everybody sent me happy birthday wishes and everything. And then a day or two later, one of my recommended ads on Facebook was for cremation.
What?
and so my post was, dang, I know I just had a birthday Facebook, but how about Google, but how about a little decorum, And so that was an easy one. It was too easy of a joke and it was still timely with my birthday. It was still like, 48 to 72 hour window or whatever. And I have like the people that I expected to laugh at it laughed at it. And so it was kind of like my Finsta. Like even though I have a big group of people on Facebook, I know I can count on about 10 or 12 people to consistently laugh at my jokes.
Yeah.
And I laugh at theirs. And we share a sort of commonality in our sense of humor or whatever. And if I post something and some of them don't respond to it, then I get a little hurt.
Yeah.
You know,
me too.
But
It bruises the ego for sure.
it does. But I know that was my last post. What about you? Facebook.
I'm
You
thinking.
did my birthday
yours-
post.
I did a birthday post for you. Yes, that was.
But before that?
Had to be like 8 months ago.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was posting a lot with the podcast, and then I just didn't want to anymore because only the same 7 people were seeing it. The typical Facebook algorithm problem. So I just stopped posting, and then somebody reached out and said, "I missed your post," and I'm like, "Okay, you're one of the 7, though. Like, I really appreciate it." But you know what I mean? So So I haven't posted in a while. Yeah. But okay, so the conversation comes up where, occasionally like. Who's the worst generation out there of posting? Like
Boomers.
Oh, really?
Oh, what do you guys think?
We were going to say millennials. We were going to say millennials.
No, boomers.
I agree, boomers.
Okay, hold on. Phil, you go first. Why?
Because they still don't know how to use it. And they use it as a search bar, right?
Yep.
And also, all they do is share Trump memes.
Yep.
Or incorrect, false information, or stupid chainmail things from back in the day.
Yep. Forbid Facebook from using my identity in those big long paragraphs of everything. And
that is boomers are literally the worst.
They are.
Especially when they're taking pictures. Like it's usually like they'll take one of the same picture 45 times and post it.
Yeah. Or they'll have those big long, like a girl walks into a cancer doctor and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And it's like,
you guys don't know. You're not on Facebook. How do you
I'm
know?
on Facebook.
Do you see this?
I do have
Mia's
Facebook.
on Facebook.
I've
Why
had Facebook.
Mia's an old soul. Mia's
I
an old soul.
swore I would never download Facebook. I got Facebook because I was looking for roommates for freshman year.
Yep.
But then I was like, wait, this is kind of fun. I like going
see all
through
the old people.
I like going through like everyone's Facebook. So like occasionally when I go to clear the notifications, like I'll do the like stalk through on Dad's account. I'll do the stalk through on your account, but you don't post that much. And it's like then I'll go through the feed, but it's like when I go through my feed, it's like half people I follow, and then
It's
half
like all
like
parents from
giant
LA.
paragraphs that boomers make, and it's like, am I the a-hole for this situation? And I click more, and then it like stops there, and I'm like, oh,
And they
I
share
hate this
AI.
app.
And they share AI, obviously AI photos too. They're like, oh, this is, look at this baby doing skydiving or something. Like,
The only thing I do like about Facebook is that it has that feature where it's like the I don't know what the like correct term is.
They fact check.
The what?
They fact check.
No, the where it's like a photo and you can like move your phone and the photo
the
like
3D photo.
Yeah. So it's like it'll be a super cool thing of like the beach or something like that. Or like one time it was like someone in a hot air balloon over the pyramids. I was like, whoa, this was like that. And so I was like, I'll play around with that for a little bit, but once it gets to like dumb videos, or it's like stay till the end for this video and the video is like 10 minutes long, I'm like, I don't even do that with TikTok.
TikTok sucks for that. I like, there are so many where like you see the bar moving and you're like, we haven't gotten to the dude getting arrested yet, and I don't think we're gonna get to him arrested. So then I just scroll up. But it's like I just watched for 2.5 minutes of him arguing with the cops, and the caption is, "Dude finds out the hard way." And you're like, okay, I can't wait for them to haul him off to jail.
That makes you angry.
It
You're
makes
like,
me
I will
so
never
angry.
follow this
and then I
page.
hide them.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't
or
ever
like
come at me again.
Salons that will be like, you guys cannot like, I can't wait for you guys to see her new hair color. And then it'll get to the end, like, part 2 is on my page now. I'm like, oh, and it always
Do you
falls
go to
for
the
it.
part 2 or do you get mad and not go?
I go to the part 2.
Sometimes.
I'm curious. I just
You're
watched the whole
invested at
video.
that
I need
point.
to see the hair color. Yeah, if it really locks you in, like, I'll go to part 2. There's this woman on TikTok. She has, sorry, this is going way off topic, but I just need you all to know about this. She has this story time. It's like, who the F did I marry? And it's like part 45 or something like that.
Whole
It's like
relationship just went like it just.
he lied about
crumbled.
like everything, but like one time I saw it on my For You page, I was like, part 37, who the hell did I marry? And I was like, oh my god.
If you get to 37,
She's at 45.
I know.
No, girls will go to the gym and watch the parts while they're like running or something because there's so many parts and they're like 10 minutes
Are you
each.
serious?
Yeah,
It's like, yeah,
it's
and
crazy.
you, like, get
She's still
invested
married
in
to
it.
him?
No, I don't
think
even know the
so.
story. I was
That's one
supposed
of
to
my
watch
favorite
it.
TikTok guy is that French dude that saves you all the time. Like,
Oh,
what's the
yeah,
name
yeah,
of his
yeah.
handle? Oh, I forget his handle.
I know
but
who you're talking about.
yeah, where he's like, he'll watch the video for you, and then like he'll start with it. It's a stitch, right? Stitch.
Yes.
And so it'll start with the girl saying, "I just got back from the movies on a first date with this guy," and la 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 la, and then the dude will bust in and be like, "He told her he was not going to pay." And then he has a banner up that pops up and says, "Time saved, 5 minutes 37 seconds." And I'm like, I love this dude. So I started following him.
So who do you think, in your opinion? So Phil says boomers are the most annoying and they overshare. Who do you think?
You guys said millennials.
Yeah,
Millennials.
initially I feel millennials, but Phil does bring up a good point. Like boomers do overshare a lot because I'll see all of their comments on like reels.
But what do
on
you think
Instagram.
about millennials? Why is
I think
the apps that you guys frequent, though, boomers are not really using those
No.
apps.
Okay,
like
so you're
Insta,
talking-
TikTok, Snapchat.
Yes. I would say millennials because what's arguably worse about them is they don't have the same ignorance as the boomers where they're like, oh, I don't know how to work this. They know how to work it and they continue to press post over and over and over again and nobody cares.
what are they posting about?
I'm sorry.
Phil's listening behind the wall, by the way.
love you, Phil.
Phil's ready to double Dutch in a
like-
moment here.
when they, I don't know, just like little things throughout the day that like they can just keep to themselves or like send a text to their friends and be like, hey, this happened. Blah, blah,
It'll be
blah.
like screenshots of text messages that like between them and someone else and I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
I'm deleting
like-
my post right now.
But it's like, okay, like, so
Phil's
I
going
will,
through his
I
profile.
will
Unless
say,
it's, like, actually
unless it's
funny.
like actually funny. Yeah, unless it's actually funny, then I'm like, that's fine. But like for the most part, I'm just, and what's worse is that I'll
always look at them. I'll look through everything. That's the problem. And then I'll look through, I'm like, why did I just look through that? Like, that was so stupid.
So you get mad at them because you got suckered in.
Exactly. Yes. And it's like sometimes, like, I don't know, millennials will also like post like multiple times.
In a day?
In a day. Like within an hour.
Oh.
Like, it's just a lot. Like, there are some millennials on my Instagram where it's like every time I go on Instagram, like if I go on Instagram before I go into class, 3 hours later when I come out of class, their story bubble is still the first story bubble out of like all my things.
Oh, because they just dropped a new story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or like sometimes like if we're using the texts as the example, like they would post texts that like I would find funny in middle school and like would post on my Snapchat.
Ouch.
And it's like things sorry. But like I don't know.
So they have not graduated from middle school texting, is what you think?
No,
of
not the texting. I think just like the posting.
No, I'm talking about posting.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I said texting, but they have not graduated from middle school posting.
Yeah.
Same sentiment, same mindset.
Yeah. It's just kind of very like, I don't know. I just don't like I think it's also like it's a very, all the millennials right now are like post grad, so I think that they're all in like competition to like show who has the best post grad life and who's like living the best in their like 20s, 30s, who's getting married and having kids and all of that. And so they're like, let me just show you every text message I've ever had with my husband on my on my Instagram.
Oh my gosh! So like, okay, so could there be an argument that millennials started Instagram because it's true? So like they're just continuing because what most millennials started Instagram when they were 12. Like that's when Instagram.
So I'm going to say the culture on Instagram for millennials
Was
is sort of
always-
ingrained. Like
Yes.
it's in their DNA, and what they do on Instagram is they don't see anything wrong with what you're saying.
So how does Gen
because
Z
it's just the
post
way
that?
it's
So,
always been
like,
done.
Okay, I think the best way that I could describe this is that millennials have the mindset that like Instagram's just a highlight reel, so they show everything about their lives. Whereas Gen Zers are like, Instagram's just a highlight reel, so let me show the best part about my lives.
Just like they're very much like Instagram isn't real. Like here's the reality of my life too. You know, like have you guys seen that a lot on Instagram? Like here's the reality of having 3 kids, and it's like a messy house and all that stuff.
Yes.
And, you know, things like that. And like Gen Z is like, yeah, it's just a highlight reel. Here's my top 10 moments from the past 5 years where I look the best and I've edited each photo to perfection.
Yeah, like Gen Zers are like, yeah, Instagram's a highlight reel. Let me show you my best moments from this past semester in college or high school.
Okay, so hold on, let me get this straight.
But
So
it's
if
not
we're-
really a highlight reel, right? For millennials, then it's
No, they're like
it's a
trying,
video diary.
Yeah, they're
basically.
trying to like prove that it's only a highlight reel by posting things that they wouldn't put in like a highlight reel. Does that make sense? Like they're trying to be like
Yeah.
Make
like
The bar
Instagram
is
casual.
lower for what.
they're trying to like make Instagram less of a highlight reel.
Right.
But
The bar is lower for what qualifies as a quote highlight.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yes.
then it would be more like millennials are Target and Gen Z's Neiman Marcus.
Oh wow. Okay.
No, also I want to say we were talking about this in the car, me and Mia. We were talking about soft launches versus hard launches.
Oh, okay, what is that?
If you guys don't know, so if you're in a relationship and you're going like Instagram official, the millennial way to do it would just be like post a photo of like you and your partner that you're now dating and just be like me and my boyfriend, and it's like smiling together, you know. That Gen Z would never do that. A Gen Zer would
y'all
soft
cheat.
launch.
well, what you guys? Because y'all cheat.
Y'all got cheating culture. That's why.
No, Phil.
Bring it, Phil.
I know a lot
Phil.
of millennial cheaters.
Phil. No. It's about being artistic and nonchalant. So what you would do is post.
Nonchalant because y'all cheating. Y'all don't want people to know y'all got a boyfriend and girlfriend.
I know.
So that's why.
Even though they've been dating someone for 4 months and all their friends have seen them in person together.
Well, also
God,
like
this is so
millennials
good.
millennials are the type.
Keep the
I
options
think
open.
millennials are
Let
more
us tell
likely.
you about you, Phil.
Yeah.
I'm
Millennials
listening.
are more likely to be like happy 1 month, happy 2 months, happy 3 months. Whereas Gen Zers, it's like 4 months in and they like finally post their partner on Instagram or something like
That's
that.
because
They'll
all
post
y'all
a
are
photo
poly.
of them with like 6 other people and that person they've been dating all this time.
Or they'll post like a sunset with the person just like barely in the photo.
Yeah, just
like,
in the corner.
Nah.
But it's artistic because it's private. But
what
not
did you
secret.
say, Phil?
I say y'all don't post those status updates because all y'all are poly, so y'all don't even know know how old y'all relationships are because you're in relationships with like 6 different people.
Not us. Not us.
I love this.
You basically
Keep
just
going.
called your whole generation polyamorous. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
So what's a soft launch?
Okay, so a soft launch would be like you're at dinner and let's say you get wine and you just get you're taking a photo of the dinner and you get your glass and their glass and maybe their hand in it. Everyone's like, ooh, who are they on a date with? And it just leaves this curiosity. And then you're like, are they seeing someone? Are they not seeing someone? And then a few months later, you could follow with a different soft launch that kind of bridges the gap between soft and hard launch. That's maybe a photo of them, but like the back of their head so you can't see their face. This sounds so ridiculous.
Because
It's like hand models.
Yes,
because
and
they're in a
then-
relationship.
So you guys have hand models for your soft launches.
Wait, Phil, what'd you say?
The reason why you ain't showing their face because they in a relationship with somebody else. That's y'all all cheating. Everything you're saying.
He has a point, you
These
guys.
That's fair.
No,
I think the whole
like-
thing is just like, okay, I will say if I was like, imagine how embarrassing it would be to post your boyfriend of 1 month and then you guys, like, I would want to wait until I'm like
Millennials don't
really
wait.
solid.
They do it.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, imagine you post your boyfriend, oh, happy 2 months. You guys break up because you just started dating and he learned who
Millennials
you
don't
truly
seem
are.
to care when that happens.
They don't seem to care.
They
I'm
probably-
embarrassed if I were to post someone
millennials would
and they broke
probably
up
post
with me.
and be like, "We broke up."
I kind of appreciate the honesty
What do
in
you have
that.
to say about this, Phil?
It's refreshing
Are
in
they-
a way.
Are they right when a millennial posts we broke up? Here's what I see: a millennial with a video crying that they broke up.
Yes. Millennials are really bad at that. And millennials are the ones that'll set up the camera. Like they're like, oh, I just got broken up with. Let me set the camera up and rehearse being sad in front of the camera.
Yes.
That's what millennials will do. And,
Or they would
yeah.
post a really like pretty photo of themselves and the caption would be like
Slay.
his loss.
Yeah.
So you know that they broke up.
You know, I think the Gen X way to do this is if, let's just say, Mom and I were dating. I post a 1 month in, like, I'm so in love with this girl, la 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 la. I post a picture of her and I, and then we break up. And then 3 months later, I would post a picture with a blonde and be like, I'm so in love with this girl. La, 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 la. And I wouldn't even like acknowledge the
That is
storyline
very-
of not having
That is very Gen
Denise
X.
around anymore.
Right.
That's so
Right?
true.
Isn't that how Gen Xers would do it?
100%.
Can I ask your daughter something?
Yeah.
So when you're in a relationship and you post pictures of your significant other and you guys break up, do you delete those photos or do you keep them on your timeline?
Delete.
Yeah.
It's so weird if like, and if you're talking, just like my friend was just talking to this guy who had photos of his ex-girlfriend on his page. I'm like, he's not over her. Like he still has those photos up on his page. You have to.
But they're
cut
really good
contact.
moments though.
Who cares? They
Yes.
broke up.
I
Like,
think if it's also like, especially like high school relationships, like if it's like prom photos and you guys are dating, for sure, like keep those up. Like no one's gonna be upset with you about that,
Right.
No one cares about your
Because
prom
everybody
date from
went to
high
prom,
school.
yeah.
Yeah. But Instagram did just add the feature that in the carousel of photos you can delete like a certain photo. So I feel like if it's like a picture of like a couple and like within it is like a ton of other pictures of like, say it's a guy and like all of his friends and then it's like a picture of him and his girlfriend, like I don't know. I do think it's a little weird to like leave the picture of the girlfriend if it's like the only picture of a girl on your feed.
Oh, so if you went to prom with your long-term high school girlfriend and then you guys broke up in college or whatever.
Prom's okay, babe.
So no, I'm saying Janie's not in but she's in the carousel with you and all your boys looking good and all the like, you know, the photos that they take of all the kids, like the guys, okay guys, let's get all the guys in or whatever.
No.
Now you don't have to delete all the photos of your guys is what you're saying. You can just delete that
Just
one
the one
photo.
photo.
of
Yeah, but
Janie.
she's saying
But
she
I'm
would
saying
keep it
in-
up anyway because
I'm
it's a prom
saying in a
photo.
different, like if it was
baseball
like,
game. You guys all went to a baseball
or like
game and
over
you got
summer
Jeannie.
Delete
at
it.
the beach.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if it's a sunset picture of you and your girl at the beach, delete that. That's too intimate.
But
Like,
it's
I
also
agree.
like you look at people's Instagrams and like that's kind of how you tell if they're dating someone in a way. Like if you're looking from afar and they have a photo with this girl, it's like, oh, he's dating someone, you know, or like, oh,
for
she has a
sure.
boyfriend, you know? So it's like if you still have it up, not only is it weird, but you're limiting your own possibilities because everyone thinks that you're in a relationship.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. I mean, I would delete any photos of like affection, but I have pictures of my exes up there, and because they were cool moments for me. Like I have one where I caught a shark. I ain't deleting that photo. I caught a damn shark. She's in the photo, but
I don't care if Teresa's in the background.
Yeah, I do not care.
Shark.
That picture was about me catching a shark, and I can't swim, so I got my life jacket on, and I'm scared as hell, and I caught a shark. So.
I know, but that's not really a dating photo.
Yeah.
No,
that's an action shot.
Any pictures of affection, I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna. Y'all take social media too seriously.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
okay.
Oh, you take social media too seriously.
Coming from a guy who posted his D pic.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't take social media serious enough.
All right, so we should.
Can I do my topic?
we have to do a Mia topic.
No, we gotta have Phil do a topic.
I haven't done the topic.
I'm so sorry. Go ahead. And then we'll have Phil do his.
My topic is what ending to a show or a movie would you change and why? Personally, I'm gonna start off strong. I'm gonna do two.
Is this Grey's Anatomy?
No, because it's my topic, so I can do
Is
two.
Grey's Anatomy still going?
No. Yes. Oh yeah, Grey's Anatomy is still going.
That's why you haven't said it. Okay.
No, I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
Okay.
The first one would have to be Titanic. He totally could have fit on that.
Yeah.
He did not need to die. Jack did not need to die.
That was her side dude. She needed an exit.
Yep.
The second one is the ending of both seasons of White Lotus because I didn't like the ending of both seasons.
Wow.
And I just thought it was like mid. I thought it was like rushed through.
Mid. Explain mid to the old people.
Medium.
Okay. Mediocre.
Like not great. Yeah, mediocre.
Okay.
Yeah. Not great. Not terrible. Dissatisfactory.
Is that a word?
Unsatisfactory?
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Dissatisfied and unsatisfactory. You brought those two together.
Unsatisfactory. I spent 2 days binging season 2. I watched like 4 hours of White Lotus before I watched the season finale of season 2, and it ended, and then the rolling credits came up, and I was literally like, "Are you kidding me?"
What? I loved the ending. I thought it was like, I was like, ooh, like this is crazy.
Can I give spoilers?
No.
Oh.
I haven't seen season 2.
I thought
watched
season
1.
I thought season 1 was like
season 1.
fine. Like season 1 was like a fine ending. It was like whatever. But
I
everyone
guess we can give a
hyped up.
spoiler. We gave a spoiler on Titanic.
But I
Well,
mean,
everyone knows that.
She's
I
a
just
big
watched
audience. I'm the
Titanic.
only
I
person
just
in
watched
America
Titanic.
that has never seen Titanic, so I don't think that's
You
a
at
spoiler.
least know.
Okay, so go ahead. You can tell.
Yeah, it's basically this lady like, Grandma, tell us about your boat trip, and she's like, well, I was a little bit of a
whore.
Exactly. I was a little bit of a skeezer. and so anyway, gather around, kids. Let me tell you about this time where I cheated on my boyfriend or whatever. Husband.
And she's the biggest villain. She threw in a diamond.
Yeah, she did. Okay, so if you want to give, you can give a spoiler, just so everyone know it's a spoiler for White Lotus.
Spoiler, click off, skip 5 minutes ahead. Well, they just had like the way Jennifer Coolidge died. Like that was so lame.
Oh, I guess.
Like that
really
was
funny,
so lame. They like, because it's like the show makes it seem out to be like it's going to be a murder mystery. So I get really excited in the beginning. I'm like, who's going to die? And then it's like Jennifer Coolidge just hits her head on a railing on a boat. And I was like, seriously? Like that's the not sloppiest. That's the laziest
Laziest. Yes.
ending in my humble
I thought it was
opinion.
like funny because I thought the whole thing of like her husband, like that guy who was like, oh, I love you, you're so fabulous, was actually like dating her husband and they wanted to kill her for the money. You know, like I thought, like I was like, oh, I did not see that coming at all. So then when she survived, I thought it was like kind of funny. I was like, dang, she really she escaped her husband's mistress and just died slipping off the boat, hitting her head. That's something I would
All
do.
right, so what if you like that one? Which one would you change then? Do you have a show?
I don't really. Can you come back to me? Let me think more.
Sure.
What about you?
Sopranos. Worst ending ever.
I'm glad you were going to say that.
Worst ending. I know what you're going to say.
Then I can say mine.
I know. Phil,
But
I know.
That's definitely one.
We know what you're going to say.
I know, but so mine is easy. It's Game of Thrones.
Right.
But in Game of Thrones, you could see the lead up and like, oh no, this is a slow moving train wreck. Like they're going to totally screw this up. Like within the last 3 episodes, you knew it was going to go
You saw it coming.
poorly. Sopranos, you didn't see it coming.
I did.
And it was shocking. You
Because
saw the bad ending coming?
The last 2 seasons, I felt every episode you were like, the next one's got to be better.
I was totally
that.
surprised.
The
at
last
the ending.
season, especially, every episode you watched, you were like scratching your head going, is next week's episode going to be better? And it's like it never got better. So when the ending happened, as disappointing as it was, you're like, par for the course. The last 2 seasons, the writer's room was asleep. That's how I felt. But anyway, Phil, what do you think? What movie or television show had a bad ending, or would you change?
Well, Walking Dead, definitely, I would have changed that.
Okay.
But when it
I would have changed that ending in season 5 and made it end there.
what made me the most angry was, do you guys remember back in 2005, Tom Cruise made a movie called War of the Worlds?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love that movie.
That is one of my favorite movies ever.
It's a great movie.
But the ending, holy crap. His son just disappears in this huge battle where everybody dies except his kid, who just waltzes off, and he somehow makes it to Boston to grandma's house. They're freaking eating cookies and stuff, and the world is just over. And he's like, "Oh, I'm here. Where have you been? How'd you get there, bro? Like, how did you get there?" And then like the aliens they got a cold. That's how they died. Like, you would think these super intelligent beings who traveled light years across the galaxy and burrowed into the ground for multiple millennia, just can't battle germs. Like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad ending. You're right.
That's really funny. I'll say Gilmore Girls, because Rory Gilmore was the best character ever. In the beginning, she was so sweet and innocent and amazing. And then in the last season, in like the last few seasons, she like home wrecks a marriage.
I was going to say, I've never watched an episode of Gilmore Girls, and I said, this feels like somebody's sleeping with somebody else's husband.
She home wrecks a marriage. She says no to a proposal just to, in the reboot of Gilmore Girls, the Year in the Life that came out a few years later, she said no to his proposal in college just to get back with him when he had a wife again. So she home wrecks 2 marriages. She like doesn't become a journalist. That was the whole point of the show. And then at the end of like the reboot, she's like, "Mom, I'm pregnant." And it's like the same story as like her mom's story. And I was like, this is so lame, and like nothing like how Rory Gilmore would actually go about things. So that's my pick.
Okay.
Period.
I feel bad for you.
I know. You were in it how many seasons?
Oh my God. I've watched the whole thing like 5 times, and every single time.
But how many seasons are there of this?
I think there's 7.
And you've seen 7 seasons 4 times, 5 times?
Probably, no, sorry, I'm exaggerating. I just finished my 3rd rewatch.
Oh, honey.
And every single time I think that I'm going to like,
do you just negate the last episode? You're like, okay, that's just not her. Like, I'm going to pretend like she was.
See her side a little more.
Yeah, do you stop after like a certain season? I think that I kind of like seeing the gradual downfall of her, because I think it's like interesting. Because it's true, like her whole, like, and she was like, sometimes she'd just be so annoying because she's like, I need to go to Yale and my life is so hard and like all these things. And she was such a good person. And she was such a good person. She would always, when she was at Yale, she would always be like to her boyfriend that ended up proposing to her, like, you're different than me. Like, I didn't grow up with money, even though her parents are like, her dad's like the best insurance guy in the country and pays for Yale. And, you know, like all these things, take her on expensive trips and all these things. And so she's like, she's just annoying. Like towards the end, she's got really annoying. And so yeah, I guess I like seeing her down.
Went bad? Sounds like you're glad she went bad.
It sounds like she loves the downfall of Rory Gilmore. I just think like if you're gonna make her annoying, like there has to be a downfall, you know, like, and it was like, it was coming. It was like they either could have kept her annoying and like made her this like almost like martyr, like despite it all, she became a journalist and married Logan and all these great things, but she's so annoying. Or they could have like made it real, like she's so annoying and doesn't realize like that she's just like all these other like rich kids around her. And she just became insufferable and home wrecked a bunch of marriages and ended up single, and it was awesome.
That just took a 180.
Now it's like,
well, yeah, it did. I guess
she seems kind of happy with the ending.
I guess I kind of like it.
She's talked herself into liking the ending. So, the ending of Game of Thrones, some similarities to what you're talking about, but basically you had Daenerys Targaryen, who was like the dragon mother all these seasons and was by far the craftiest out of everybody, the cleverest. Like she was a princess whose father had been killed. She was married to a barbarian, and you know, just all this calamity in her life, and somehow rose to power. And then, like, in the last episode, they just decided, oh, no, she's crazy. She's just going to burn the whole city with her dragons. And so it was kind of like such a departure.
Yeah.
And I also think there are a lot of fanboys of the show that were kind of like, oh, she can't be the one sitting on the Iron Throne because she's a girl, you know? And so there were some dingbats like that, especially online, like people who did not read the books, and I didn't read the books either, but I didn't care who won as long as it was good, and it wasn't good. And so then it was like, okay, you know, but it's the same guys that had, you know, probably with like, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the whole mythology
Thank
of
you.
it, but yeah. So anyway, but yeah, so I can kind of relate. It was just one of those leaps where you're like, wait a second, she's been so spot on all this for 8 seasons,
Exactly.
and now all of a sudden in the last 2 episodes,
You're gonna make her crazy.
She's a kook.
Yes, but the thing is,
know?
if you're going to
Make
make
her
her crazy, make her super crazy and make it all make sense. That's kind of like what the Gilmore Girls was. Like, I was seeing the gradual downfall. I'm like, no, I hate this, but like it made sense. Like there was no coming up from there. But so I agree with that.
Make her gradually go insane rather than just
or
snap.
justify it, like somebody wronged her and now she feels this way, and so you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, that's it. So Phil's got a topic for us.
Yes, Phil. What's
Let's
your
do it.
topic?
All right. Okay. So, what direction do you guys want to go with? You want to go with my first one, or you want to go with my second one?
They're both good. So you just
Okay.
You
All right.
decide.
All right. So, does anybody here play an instrument?
I play the drums.
I play the guitar poorly. Ellie plays the drums well, and I
Okay.
play the guitar poorly.
Okay. Does anybody speak another language?
I will be speaking German next spring.
I speak Spanish poorly.
Okay. All right. So my question is for all of you guys. If you could choose between knowing every single language in the world or having the talent to play every instrument in the world, what do you think would be a bigger impact?
Oh, wait, Phil, do you want to answer?
I would choose, I would like to choose language, honestly. If I could speak every language, I would make so much money.
You would make a lot of money.
Well, yeah, I would probably choose every language, because then I would know if people are like talking about me. Well,
Here at the Podcast Doctor Studio, broadcasting in 757 languages.
right?
I was going to say the same thing. I would also want to choose languages because, A, you can travel anywhere and know all the languages and people won't side-eye you if you don't know the language. And B, you can eavesdrop on anyone.
Oh, look at you. Sneaky.
Yeah, I agree. There's this white lady on TikTok who speaks Korean and she lives in Korea, and like she says and she'll film on a GoPro like her going to these like markets and stuff, and she's like this white blonde lady, and she's just like dishing out Korean, and like they're like, oh my god, and like they respect her so much more for that. So I think that would be like really cool, being able to just like speak any language and kind of like be like, like I can do it.
What about you?
Instrument. It's creative. I always have envied people who have a creative flair. I do think it's a language of love. Like music transcends everything. So I may not be able to speak a language, but if I can play any instrument, it's a piece of art that could travel the world. And if I'm in a band or part of a symphony or making a pop song, whatever it is, it's like, that's going to be forever.
Oh, music is the language of the world.
It is ethereal
true,
and
Mom.
stupid, but it's like, it'll last forever. I'll be gone, but my piece of music may continue if I do something. If I could play every instrument, the thought is I would do something with that, and that will live on after me.
Got it.
So
That was
sweet.
That's such a mom answer.
Speak your truth, Denise.
I agree 100%. Speaking as someone who struggles to, when I don't get to practice nearly as much as I want, and when I have a particular tune, whether it's created by me or someone else in my head, the frustration level of trying to get those chords and those notes out on the guitar, to be able to do that on any single instrument would be so fantastic. It's like, I feel like the practice and the development that it takes to learn a single instrument unlocks so much in your brain that to be able to do that on any instrument would be huge. And frankly, I know this sounds weird as a podcaster, but talking talking to people at times can be overrated. And so that's kind of how I feel once in a while. Like I get there's a moment of every single day, whether we're in the studio or whether I'm just living my life or working or whatever. There's a moment of every single day where nobody is talking, and sometimes that's the best moment of the day for me, you know, because like the silence is golden, but music is even goldener. Is that a word?
Absolutely not.
More golden.
All right, I have a topic.
Okay.
So if you could have dinner with one person in the entire world, who would it be? You go first.
Oh, shoot. On topic. I would say my dad, because I did not get a conversation with him before he passed.
Oh, I did not expect that one.
We were
James.
good.
I know. I'm like,
Sorry.
Damn it, man.
My dad had a really hard life. He had a hard life growing up. He had a hard life as an adult. And I would just want, like, I believe everybody has a ghost. And for me, my father is mine. And so to be able to sort of communicate and verbalize those things that I'm good with, like I'm good with it as a person can be who doesn't have that other person anymore. But to be able to sort of hear his voice, tell me it's okay, and sort through some of the other things where I have confusion on how his life went and all that other stuff. And he died of health problems. He didn't die of anything nefarious or anything. He had a heart attack and he passed away.
Really young though.
He really young and really at a point where it was a shock. And so I had closure with my mother. I had closure with my grandmother and other people in my life that have passed away. I did not have it with him. So that's an easy choice for me.
Well, I'm crying.
I'm
Sorry to bring it down.
I like, camera on someone else.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's on you.
I'll go.
Thanks, Phil.
I'll go. All right. I wasn't gonna pick my dad, but now you're saying that, yes. But let me go. I'll change that.
It could be your dad, Phil.
No,
Your reason is different.
No,
your reason
it was
is different.
But I did have closure with him. Though my dad and I were tight, so.
Yeah,
you know, it just be cool to have another evening with him, you know. But for me, it's The Rock. Come on, that's like
The Rock.
That's like my guy.
It's your hero.
Yeah,
yes,
that's my guy.
We've talked about this. Yeah.
So I mean, any type of interaction I could ever have, even if it's 2 minutes, is something that I would like strive for. Like that's what like I'm trying to manifest. Is like I want to be in a movie with The Rock, or be able to interview him on a podcast, or he can give me the rock bottom or people's elbow. I don't even care. But yeah, I would love to have a conversation with him because he seems like a really genuine, humble person.
Yeah,
when he needs to be. So that's the Rock would be my number one. Number two would be Denzel.
Denzel?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they're both really
also
good.
A good one,
what
yeah.
would you get out of The Rock? Like, what are you hoping to get from an hour and a half dinner with him?
Nothing. This is just completely selfish. I don't need him to give me any advice, or I just want to spend some time with the bro. Be like, okay, this is cool. We had dinner. We talked about wrestling. We talked about movies. I don't even need acting tips or connections. I mean, that would be great. That's what I would really want, is some connections. But just to be able to speak to someone who I've almost idolized since 1996 is, you know, that's a huge life goal for myself. So I wouldn't need anything out of it. Just being able to have that experience would be something that would be worth it.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
And I don't think anybody would mind if you overshared that on your Instagram.
Oh no, I'm sure I'd get a whole bunch of likes other than my chunky peanut butter or smooth peanut butter. That's my last post.
What about you?
Mine is Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't even need to have a conversation with him. Like, I would actually like to sit at a dinner table and watch him converse with, like, maybe his loved one, whoever, like his girlfriend, his wife. He's married, I believe. So, and like maybe like his business agent, his manager, just like to see the dynamics.
You had such a near experience. We saw him sitting on the at the valet station with Ethan Hawke.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, "Oh."
You could have just like elbowed your way in there. No, they're having an intense conversation.
And Ethan Hawke was married to Uma Thurman at the time. Okay,
yeah, he was.
There is rumor that Quentin Tarantino and Uma Thurman spent time together. Yeah, it's
kind of like Rory. What's her name?
Yeah,
Gilmore.
Yeah. So I think he's brilliant. I just like want to sit and like watch him think.
Mm-hmm. He's a really intense guy.
I know. That's
I mean,
what everyone
a lot
says.
of hand gestures as we were standing there waiting for our car to arrive.
You guys show him your feet though, because that's like
He has a foot fetish?
Oh, yes.
How do you even know? How do you know who
you
Quentin
guys are
Tarantino
too young
is?
to
In
know
all
about
of
foot
his
fetishes.
films, there's like always at least one scene where he like finds a way to include feet in it.
I mean, come on,
That's
Denise.
true.
Have you seen From Dusk Till Dawn? You're gonna write the movie, you're gonna direct it, and you're gonna partially star in it. And I'm gonna have brand new actress Selma Hayek stick her foot in my mouth while I'm pouring tequila on it. Come on.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Plus,
is
Uma
true.
had a foot scene in Kill Bill.
She did.
Wiggle
Which
your
one?
big toe.
Yeah, the big toe.
That's right. Oh wow,
He's
I didn't
got
know
a
he had a
foot
foot
fetish.
fetish.
Yeah.
Huh, that's interesting. Okay.
Okay, well, that's creepy to talk about in front of your children. So let's move on to another answer.
Okay. So
What's
who would
yours?
it be? For you?
I would pick. I don't even know who like the head of the CIA is, but I would pick like the highest person in the CIA or FBI and just have them tell me everything ever.
Oh, so you want to die?
She's got a death wish.
Yeah. That's what I would do. I want to know everything.
You want to know all the secrets?
Yeah.
What
I
do
wanna
you
know all
think
the
the secrets
secrets.
are? Name two conspiracy secrets
The
from the Gen Z set.
congressmen and congresswomen are secretly reptiles, and
Okay.
their place of home is in the moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me think of another.
I think the first is probably true. I don't know about the
Let me
second.
think of. I don't even know of another one. Okay.
That's it. Not the moon landing. You don't want to know about that? Don't care?
I think that it
I
was
mean, if they're
real.
living in the moon, then they're,
Then yeah, obviously it was real.
yeah.
Well, obviously everyone. I feel like my first go-to is quite predictable.
For Mia, I already know
yeah,
this
I do
answer.
Me too. Okay, so 1, Taylor Swift. Number 2, the,
She's a
like,
twisty.
Swiftie.
She said twisty.
They get so mad when I say that.
Taylor Swift, but because like that would just be my answer for everything. But like genuinely, I would say Michelle Obama
Oh, that's
because I would just want to like ask her so many questions about like being the first African American first lady and all of that, and like how raising kids, because like her kids were older when he went into office, so just like how
12 and
those
13, I thought, or 12 and was it 10 and 12 or 12?
I think it was 10 and 12 the
10 and
first
12,
term.
yeah.
Yeah, so like kind of just that, and like how, you know, like how they navigated school, how she navigated motherhood, and like secrets from the White House.
Oh, yeah.
I heard her in an interview say she used to have the kids make their own bed.
Yes, I remember you
That's
telling me
insane.
that.
Like the housekeepers would come in and she's like, nope, they have to make their own
Yeah.
bed. And then they would ask for sleepovers in the White House. And remember the last day, I think, of them being in the White House, all their friends wanted to spend the night. She's like, that's not an easy feat because the Secret Service gets
Yeah, they have
involved.
to
She's
get
like, we could
clearance.
she goes, we could have sleepovers at the White House. We've done it with the girls. She's like, but the very last day in the White House was challenging, but they all wanted to have like their friends
Yeah,
over.
that's really
Isn't that
funny.
crazy?
Yeah.
So
So I would want to sit and have dinner with her and her family, and just talk.
And you can ask her questions like, how did you feel when QAnon figured out that you were running the country and not Barack?
Yeah, exactly. I could be like, how did you feel like carrying America on your back? Or can you ask her why she replaced all of our vending machines with like carrot sticks and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Nutrition
On
thing.
Nickelodeon, there'd be like a day of activity where like Nickelodeon would be playing for a whole day, and it's like Michelle Obama like, get outside, enjoy the outdoors, and I'm like, no, no. But I probably would ask her like what her favorite day-to-day activity was, or like her favorite like event or something that she had to like prep for, or like appearance that she would do. Like I would ask her one of those and like have her explain why.
Good one.
That is a really good one. Wow.
Yeah.
You guys thought I was just Taylor Swift.
I'm so superficial. And so is Phil.
I'm just in my feelings over here.
You are, and these two are like way more intellectual. She wants CIA. She wants Michelle Obama.
I know, right.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got next?
Okay, so go, Ellie. What's one of your topics?
What was okay. Okay, so as you guys all know, we're a very big sport family. So my question is, what is the worst thing about losing a game? Is it losing the actual game or the car ride back with your dad?
Oh, that's a setup.
And I would say it's the car ride back with my dad.
I would say the same thing too, because as
agree.
you're actively losing, you're thinking to yourself, oh shoot, this car ride is not going to be fun on the way
to say about
home.
that.
Yep.
But that's where you get your best coaching advice. How can you say that?
No, you know,
Yes
all,
and no.
all the TikTok psychiatrists and all the Instagram psychiatrists,
Yeah, I know.
all say, therapists say, you don't say anything in the car ride home. And you especially don't talk about the other kids on the team.
Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. Like, those are all softies. That's the problem with America. No, I'm not going to go that far. But no, you know, I feel like, you know, I was able to see the game objectively, and this feels like a little bit of a personal attack, but okay, let's roll with it.
How many times would I say to you, don't say anything in the car?
Don't say anything in the car. Don't say anything in the car. And then
couldn't help
like
himself,
20
you
minutes
guys.
would go by, and I'd be like, okay, I just want to say one thing.
Well, I'm
No,
only going to say
the
one
best
thing.
was like when we would get silent when he would like ask a question and be like, so like what's not clicking in practice or something like that, and like we'd be quiet. He'd be like, I asked you a question. I'm like, I don't want to answer right now.
That's my favorite thing
He
about...
tried, you guys.
I
I'm
know.
telling you, like to go 20 minutes and not say anything in the car is like an eternity. 'Cause
You know
it's all
what's-
And I
boiled
knew
up.
he wanted to, too. So we're just sitting in silence. I'm like, when is he going to break? When's he going to do it? Like, just go ahead. Just give it to me.
Here's this is gonna really be salt in your wound. My dad watched me and my teammates lose for 3 years straight so in middle school 3 years my class was good, so we would win games, and then for 3 more years I would lose every single sport, every single season, every single, you name it, for 3 straight years. My dad said 0 to me all those years, and I would watch you guys in like age, you know, U8 AYSO, and I'd be like, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it. How did he not say anything all those years? It was just so like, it just rolled off of him. He didn't care.
Sometimes he would even say, Dad told me, sometimes he'd say, good game, son. And Dad would be like, we just got
we just lost 49-6 or something like that. He'd be like, good game, son. You tried your best. And I'd be like, no, I didn't. We suck. Like, are you kidding? Like, we're terrible.
Dad tried, you guys. Like,
I know.
I would even say to him, you know, there's Dr. Phil episodes on like parents that duke it out at the soccer field. Like, you really gotta
never
like.
went that far.
No, he didn't. But I'm like, we really gotta like just temper ourselves. And he's like, I know, every weekend I would say we really, and then I would be the one too. Like, I remember in volleyball, especially in in high school, I was like, I'm gonna go and I'm not gonna say anything. I'll never forget the one game I was with Lori. She came to see you, and I'll never forget that one game because it's still like burned in my memory. I'm like, Lori's here. I'm just gonna like be like a parent like everyone else and just be like clapping. And then I stood up and I like pointed to the other side of the thing. And I go, Ellie! And I like pointed to the other team. I'm like, get them right now! You're like up to serve. And I was a lunatic.
Toward the end, you became that person.
Oh my God. And then I would yell from the lacrosse field across the field. She would score and I would yell, again. And then she'd look at me and be like, okay.
The best is when you'd be on offense and she would yell, pressure! And I'm like, they're on offense, so they're going to try and score. They're not like defense, so you pressure them on defense.
Wait,
I was bad in the moment. Dad was bad on the car ride home.
Yeah. And it was also like, at least for lacrosse and like, I know for soccer, like watching Ellie's games and going with Dad to Ellie's games, like, we never had to worry about Dad like yelling at the refs or the coaches and like getting kicked out or anything. We just had to worry about the car ride after.
Yeah.
There was one tournament in Vegas. I remember you were playing for Arsenal. You were playing for your soccer team. And the side judge, he kept calling the ball a different way, and it didn't matter if it was for your team or the other team, but whatever the direction was where the ball would get kicked out, it was the other team's ball. He would always get it, like he got it wrong like 6 times in a row. And some of the dads on our team finally started like yelling about it, and the ref came over. He's like, "I'm talking to you, and you don't talk to me, and I talk to you, you don't talk to me." And he's speaking in broken English and everything. I go, "Sir, I think he's directionally challenged." And he goes, "That's it. One more word from you, and you're out." And I'm like, "I was just making a joke." Like,
I know. My God. And I don't know. It's like such a fine line because I'm not excited for the car ride with you, but then mom would just be too sweet. You know, like kind of like your dad. She's like, "It's okay, honey. It doesn't matter." I'm like, "Yes, it does. How can you say that?"
Mom would tell you to quit all the time.
Yeah, she's like, "Just quit."
Mom, you'd be like, "Practice sucks. We're going to have to run today because we lost so bad the other day." And mom would be like, "Well, just quit." I'm like, "What are you telling these
Because I wanted them
children?"
to be happy. If they're not happy, don't play.
Or if there was like a commitment overlap, if I was like, "Oh, I have lacrosse and then I have musical rehearsals," mom would be like, "Oh, well, just quit one of them.
One of them. You
Like,
can't do both, honey.
can't."
I know you were like the quitting advice parent.
I was.
It's
I
like
just want them to
reverse.
be happy. There's so much
Yeah.
stress in life. They don't have to be stressed in school. Like, I want them to be happy, so quit. I don't care.
It's
No.
reverse psychology, honestly.
It is?
I
Because
know,
I was
'cause
like,
I
I'm
know.
not quitting. Like,
Yeah, you're like, my friends are going to think I'm a weirdo.
no, literally, you're gonna think I'm a quitter. Yeah. That's not. I love that I play volleyball now because you guys like really don't understand
I don't know any of the rules.
at all, and it's
I don't.
awesome.
I just know that you have to hit it 3 times
Yes.
and get over it. And I know the rules have even softened up in the last year. So now,
Yeah.
like, people can touch the ball with their palms of their hands a little more or whatever.
Yeah, like we have the double rule. But I just remember when Dad came to my parents' weekend, it was awesome. It was the best. We almost lost that game. That was the worst game I think I've ever played of volleyball. And I saw him in the stands. He's like, "Woo!" High-fiving people and cheering.
You've
And
come a
I
long
gotta
way,
tell you
babe.
guys, like,
You've come a long way.
I have come a long way. Well, see, mission accomplished. I have my college athlete. So
I do think, like,
it
thank
took
God
me
we
3 tries, but I got one that got academics. They weren't allowed to quit school either. So I got one that got her academic scholarship. I got 2 that got, well, all 3 of you got, I guess, some form of academic scholarship. And
Yeah.
then you played a sport. So
I do think, thank God we didn't have a boy.
whatever
I know we were
No,
talking
right.
about.
Like, thank God we didn't have a boy.
I would have.
Oh, you'd been terrible. You'd been the
I
one.
think I would have been.
Oh,
I
you'd
think I
been
would have
terrible.
been hard on a boy.
You'd been the one throwing the football at them,
I would have
like
been
in the head.
I would have been 1970s dad. No, I would not have done that. Do not say that.
Babe,
That
you
is
would have been out there.
Totally not fair.
Babe, you would have been out there making them run laps. You would have been like,
Oh yeah, I would have been lap running guy for sure, especially if I was their pee-wee coach or something.
Oh.
I'd be like, you guys are fooling
Yeah,
around.
I feel like if you had a boy,
being 7 years old.
it's not gonna work
Yeah.
in the NFL. Just saying.
No.
Just telling you guys this now.
I'm
tired.
Yeah, I feel like if you were to have a boy too, you would like, if there was an opening for like a sports team for like a coach, he would like jump at that. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be his coach."
Your son would be like,
I was your
"Dad?"
coach. I was a coach for
Yeah.
all 3 of you.
No,
There's
I
and
know,
then
but I'm
when
saying
you-
like above
But
like
then there came a-
age, like
Oh yeah, like
8
once
or
you guys
9.
got past U10, I realized I don't know what I'm doing with teenage girls. Like I cannot coach.
So then you
12
started
teenage
reffing.
girls. Yeah, I just
And then you
started
decided to
reffing.
ref. Yeah.
And then the parents would yell at me. And so,
Yeah. Oh, that was.
but yeah,
funny.
no, I mean, look, in fairness to me, like sports are intense, but my high school football coach played with Jack Lambert of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay. So Jack Lambert was among 4 of the most dominant defensive players in the league up until that point. And so, it was just a different mindset implanted in me from a very young age. So there's
can
an
you
intensity
do?
there. Yeah.
What can you do?
So anyway.
Okay, Phil. So, were you in sports? And if you were, what was worse, losing or the car ride with your dad?
So I was in sports, not football, surprisingly, as big as I am. I played baseball, and
Okay.
my dad was the coach for every single one of my teams up until I was in high school.
No pressure.
But here's the thing about my dad, right? If you took Captain America, Optimus Prime, and Obama, and you put them all into one person, my dad gave the best motivational speeches.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right?
That's so
ever.
cute.
And so he was hard during the games because he was the coach, so everybody had to see that authority figure on him.
Right.
But in the end, privately, he was a big softie. Right. So I was more afraid during the games, losing during the games, than the car ride home.
Okay.
Because my dad was very motivational, and he would always say, "Hey, this is what can do work better." He was never like bad about that or abusive or anything like that. So it was when we were losing during the games, yeah. But I understand why. But yeah, after the fact, no, he was fine. So I never lost. Sorry, we won every championship and not state, but like we won.
God.
Well, clearly his
He was
strategy
a really
worked
good
then.
coach.
Yeah, we won pretty much every. And dude, I was this big at like 11. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm hitting home runs, every single at bat I had. So it wasn't hard to be good at baseball at my age, but yeah, I didn't lose a lot, so I didn't really have a lot of those tough speeches.
Well, he was a good coach.
Whatever, Phil.
They do. I somebody told me this, or I read it somewhere. Oh gosh, I saw it recently, but I was told this years ago, like probably 6 or 7 years ago, that if you really want to get a girls' team to kick it up,
good advice.
you don't go at them with like, you're doing terrible, you got to be better. Like all you have to say is, you're disappointing me.
Oh,
That. There was a coach. There was a. I believe it was the lacrosse coach at Duke, who said, and he had coached both the men's and women's team, and he said, the men's team has to win to be happy, and the women's team has to be happy to win.
I agree with that.
As do I.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
In volleyball, like you just like when there's a certain vibe on the court, you're like, we're gonna lose. Like like before it's just like you're in a rut, and even if it's like you're tied and it's neck and neck, if there's like a certain like energy where it's not good, it's like we're gonna lose, which is weird. But I think it also I think that's like what makes women's sports and men's sports so different and so cool, is that I feel like at least for women's sports, there's a lot more like trust and chemistry on the court, whereas I guess sometimes the men could be like, "Oh, just set me the ball and I'll get it done," But it's like the women, it's kind of like we all have to really like be all on the same page to work, which I think makes a team cooler and closer. But,
Right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We had a conversation one time. I don't know if we ever recorded it. I think we were just talking about it privately with Phil, like off camera. Is there a sport that women can play with men that you think, like we were talking about soccer, but I was saying that men check too hard. Like, but then Phil was saying, I think, or dad, like, well, soccer women are like really built, like they can get checked. There are certain sports. I think baseball, women can play baseball co-ed. Obviously not football, but what do you think? Basketball? Do you think, wow, basketball men are really tall and really powerful, like they're built, and girls just don't have this. Yeah,
I would say it's the same for baseball though too. It's like, certainly you can get women who could throw the ball and pitch and do all that stuff.
And hit and run.
Yes, but I
don't see women hitting 400 feet home runs.
I mean either. It's like nobody's hitting as far, there's not a woman that, well, first off, there aren't any men really who hit as far as Barry Bonds, but for that to be equal in some ways, you know what I mean?
Oh, that could be true.
But they can still be role players though.
Yeah, totally.
They don't have to hit home runs.
Second base, shortstop, all that stuff.
Yeah, I think that soccer, honestly, I would think that female soccer players are tougher than male soccer players, because if you've ever seen a male soccer game, come on, they get slide tackled and they're like, oh my god, mommy, and like I feel like the girls are very tough, and I feel like they can really like slide tackle and do it right. So I'd say soccer.
Yeah, the girls always play with like bloody foreheads and stuff like that, and the guys are like rolling around holding their shin pad.
Exactly. And I was about to say like tennis, but I don't really know.
Oh, yeah.
I think
that's pretty equal. Like,
I would
men
agree.
still
Historically,
have strong upper body strength more than women, maybe, but still, like
there's still quickness, agility, being able to return a serve.
Tennis is a good
Yeah,
one.
I mean, obviously golf.
Yeah, golf
as well.
Yes, I can't believe they don't make a co-ed already. I'm like, are you kidding? Why do we have an LPGA and then just the regular PGA? Like, they should be doing co-ed.
Yeah, I agree.
But
even bowling, but bowling is not a team sport.
Is that even
game.
a sport? Is that even a sport?
That's a game. That's why when people say pickleball,
NASCAR.
That's a game.
NASCAR. Oh, that's a good one.
Snowboarding.
Oh, that's a good
like
one.
Skiing.
Okay,
Yeah,
skiing.
snowboarding, skiing.
I mean,
Ice
NASCAR is
skating.
already integrated though. You have
It is.
Ooh, ice skating.
Gymnastics.
A good one. Gymnastics.
How about gymnastics?
I'd say gymnastics, because I feel like the build of like male and female gymnasts are like very similar.
Yeah, they're all
kinda
3 feet
short
tall
and like very built. I'd say
strong as hell.
Yeah, but men don't do beam, do they?
No, they do not.
That's like the only difference.
They do like the other thing that like with the two
vault.
bars.
They do like the vault thing. Where
Yeah.
they like, I don't know what it is, but
They
the
like
handles
spin
on the
their
vault.
legs all
Yeah.
around.
The horse.
Yeah.
Horse. Is that what it is? Yeah, they're on
Yeah.
the horse. Yeah, that's true.
Swim's a co-ed sport at most high schools.
No.
Right?
No, it's not.
No,
It's
like-
if they
Or
don't
is it
wanna-
like a
no.
co-ed team?
It's co-ed team, yeah, but they don't compete.
No, they don't
against-
compete again.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah,
That would
no.
work.
Okay, Phil, what's your next topic?
All right, so this is something that's been going pretty crazy on the internet right now. It's the whole debate strictly for the women. And the question is, what would you rather choose to be alone in the woods with, a bear or a strange man? And so that's been the
this.
debate. And I really want to know what y'all's opinions are. And it's just the question itself is crazy, but the response for the incels, from the incels is pretty crazy as well.
Mia, bear or strange man, and why?
Bear immediately. Because, well, I saw someone say it perfectly that I'm just gonna have to quote, obviously. A bear would assume that you're dangerous, and that's why the bear would get aggressive, whereas the man knows that you're not dangerous and would use that to a disadvantage.
Wow. Okay. What about you?
I'd say bear. Same reason. Sorry, Dad. Again, I saw someone say like the worst thing that the bear could do is kill me, and I think like that really put it into perspective. I also saw this video actually this morning, which was so funny that you brought this up, Phil, of this bear. It was like a grizzly bear running up to this group. I think it was like National Geographic photographers, and they were just like, no, get away. Then the bear like ran away. Like they kind of like intimidated it. And
He was like, oh, okay.
This girl like stitched it and was like, notice how like the bear listened to no and didn't turn around and call you ugly after you said it.
Oh my God. That's
awful.
terrible, but
That's
true.
awful.
Isn't that true
That's
though?
so
I
true.
know.
Yeah.
So I'd pick bear.
Oh, bear for sure. Yeah, because bear is just going to kill you. It is so true. Like every woman would say bear. I don't know. Has anyone not said bear in
I'm
internet,
a grown
Phil?
man. I think I'd rather take my chances with a bear than some other strange dude in the
Seriously?
woods. I mean, not for the same reasons, obviously, that you've illuminated, but you find some stranger in the woods. That's kind of weird, right?
Okay, what are you scared of from another man? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
We have a list. What are you scared of?
My list is not nearly as long
I know.
as yours.
I want to know
fear
what yours.
death.
But
I'm
what do
just
you?
like any other man.
What is another male?
Well, they're usually, like I've seen, I saw Deliverance when I was a kid, and finding somebody up. So there are all these videos on TikTok where it's like they see strangers, like there are plenty of ex-convicts, whatever, running around in the mountains of Appalachia, and you're doing this. I'm going to go do this hike, in this 3,000 mile hike or whatever, and people just don't come back from that sometimes, and it's because they found a strange dude or dudes up in the woods.
I think like you go into the woods like, okay, I know I can see bears, coyotes, all these things. A random guy, like, first of all, why are you out here with me? And it's also like a guy is like conscious. He can do whatever he wants.
But Dad could defend himself against a guy. Most women, depending on the size of the guy, can't even defend themselves. So the fact that he even picked the bear is kind of surprising, because Dad could at least defend himself against the guy.
That's true.
Like in a battle, like a toe-to-toe.
Like every horror film that I watch, I'm not really afraid of. Well, with the exception of The Conjuring. I'm not really afraid of ghosts or demons or any of that other stuff. But every movie that sticks with me and bothers me is usually human derived. Like the villain or the entity to be feared is human in nature.
The surprise about that Instagram viral TikTok or whatever it is that all women said the bear.
And a lot of men got upset.
I wonder if that question was now asked to the men, what would the answer be? Because you just said bear. Phil,
I don't know. People
what would your
weird
answer
up in the
be?
woods.
So my question is it a white man?
Yes,
That's a
Phil.
whole new wrinkle.
Yes, Phil. In our head, it's a white man. So
Yeah, that's what we're envisioning.
Yes, and we're envisioning a white man, Phil.
Okay. So if I'm stuck in the woods, first of all, that's a problem, right? If I'm stuck in the woods and I'm stuck in the woods with the white man, that's a bigger problem because I'm probably running from him in the first place. You know,
that's how you get stuck in the woods to begin with.
Yeah, because he probably brought me there or some stupid thing. Because I will never,
your tire.
You'll never see me hiking. So if I'm stuck in the woods somewhere, there's a problem. I'm already dead.
So you're picking the bear. You're also picking.
No. But in reality, though, I would pick a man because I understand why women would pick the bear, and I don't have to worry about any of those reasons. You know, I can still reason with the guy. I can't reason with the bear, you know, but a bear doesn't have the intentions that men do when it comes to women. So I don't have to worry about that.
Right.
You know? And plus I'm bigger than most people.
Yeah.
And so I'm probably a predator to them.
No, yeah, I've considered that as well. I would just say, you know, especially me growing up in rural Ohio, like I know for a fact hill people are a little scary. So if you run into somebody weird on a trail, they're weird and they're up there for a reason, you know?
It's true.
So,
but most likely I would probably pick being alone with a guy because I don't have to worry about, you know, ulterior motives or any other things that women have to. Like I can pump gas and not have to worry about it. I can go to Publix and not have to worry about it. I can walk in the street with my underwear and no one's gonna bat an eye. You know, I don't have to worry about any of that. So I understand, and it's crazy how men are upset about that. Like, don't you know a bear is dangerous? And women are like, that's the point.
Exactly.
They're like, so is Match.com.
So for sure. Yeah. But well, I think this was a really good episode, you guys.
Yes. We talked about everything. Wow.
We good? Okay, so that is going to do it for today. Thank you for joining us for our round robin. Phil, thank you as always. Ladies, why don't you take them out?
Empty nest, full tank. Later, All-Stars. Bye. Check the mic and make sure it sounds right, boys.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.